guys, welcome back to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy V. Playing for Rabbit and Small Animal Rescue. When we last left off, RASAR and his friends Lenna, Faris, and Galuf here, they just encountered the town of Regole out in the frontier. The frontier, they were thrown there when Exdeath erected the magical barrier around his castle. And the first thing we did there was we equipped the smoke ability on our ninja, because it was a really tough enemy coming up. So, but we only have, before we deal with that enemy, we're going to have to deal with this tough enemy right here. He has 5,000 hit points, and when you first start fighting this guy, if you don't do anything, you'll notice that he's not doing any damage to you. Because the only attack this guy uses is that blue magic spell that deals damage to you equal to the amount of damage that you've done to him. So, as you can see, he can pretty much one-shot any of our characters. Luckily for us, we got a preemptive strike on him, and he's weak to wind. And Galuf has the wind spear equipped. So, he basically took off almost 40% of his life in that one jump. So, that was nice. So, but, as I was mentioning earlier, there's another tough enemy coming up in this castle down here. This castle is optional. We don't have to visit it. So if you don't have a ninja with the smoke ability, a thief with the flee ability, or a beast tamer with the control ability, you may not want to come in here because the enemy is pretty difficult to run from, and it can pretty much wipe out your party. The enemies that, here's the enemy here, but the abilities that I was talking about was the smoke ability and the flee ability will both allow you to run from the battle. And the Beastmaster can control the shield dragon there, and then one of the attacks the shield dragon has can be used against itself, and I think it's a blaze attack, and what ends up happening is the blaze attack will deal damage to the shield dragon, but it won't knock out the control, so you can basically control it until it defeats itself. So. But inside this castle, we just get a small little cutscene, and we learn about these sealed weapons. Apparently they were used 1,000 years ago in a great war. So we'll learn more about that war later, but we can't get any of these weapons. Basically, you just walk around, and it tells you what weapons there are. So basically, there's one for almost each of the classes there. They all have special properties, but we'll go over them more when they become more relevant. So, but now we'll just walk out. The only enemies we can encounter in here are those shield dragons. So, if we run into any, all we're going to do is use those abilities that we got to take care of them. So, oh, we didn't get into any. So now we can just revive Miss Lenna, and we'll start making our way south, and then we're going to go to the east because that's our next direction. We were heading down this way. When we were in Regole earlier, one of the children mentioned that they saw a moogle to the south. And that's where we're going to explore to see if maybe there is a moogle around here. And lo and behold, there he is! He's up there! So, this is the first appearance of moogles in Final Fantasy. Although they say that the beavers in Final Fantasy II were kind of supposed to be, I guess, retroactively changed into Moogles. So, well, that's what they were kind of going for. They were going for like some weird fantasy type creature, but I guess at the time they just figured, we'll just make them beavers. So, I don't know. I know they've done some re-release of Final Fantasy II. I don't know if they've updated it or not. So, if you know minions, maybe you can put it in the comment description. So. But anyway, we fall down this hole, chasing after the moogle that we saw. And we got this, the gimmick here is when you step in the water, the current takes you away. So, you have really no control of where you go, but it's a small little dungeon, so you don't really need control anyway, so. There's only one little branching path, and it's not really much of a branching path because it, both places lead to the same area. But I just kept this battle in because there's two battles, one right after another there. The encounter rate seems pretty high in here. And if I would have edited them out, it would have made just one big long string of fuzzies. So here's two more new enemies in this area here. We got the blood slime up there. That's the grayish looking monster. It's like I said, weak to fire. There's another enemy in here. There's 4 new enemies in this area besides the boss, and the blood slime and the other new enemy are both weak to fire. But the aquaphos there, the little crab, and the little octopus in the back there, the moogle, they are both weak to lightning. Although the blood slime there has kind of really low hit points, you can probably take it out, and I have done it. If you just throw a lightning scroll, you might be able to defeat them in one hit too, because like I said, they don't have too many hit points, so the lightning scroll, even though they don't have that weakness to it, may do enough damage to take them out, so. Well, I guess the thing is a moogle, I guess that probably means it eats moogles. So we better find that moogle quickly before it gets eaten. So this is where we have the little branching path section here. We want to pick up this treasure chest, get some gold, and then we can go down into the water on either the right here, just south, or we can just backtrack a little bit here, and we'll jump in the water there, and it'll take us to a small little cave. But I'll point out where both take us to, so. Here's the other final last enemy in the area, the lopers there, and like the blood slime, it shares a weakness to fire. So, summon Mr. Afreet, burn him down. He has a lot of hit points. Uh-oh. The problem is he doesn't have a wind weakness. A lot of flying enemies tend to have a wind weakness, but this guy doesn't, so. Yeah, otherwise, Galuf's spear would have done a lot more damage to him, so. Hopefully we can do a lot of damage here with the jump attack, though. Boosted up the fire there. So, yep, look, we did about 300 more damage just when we equipped the fire rod, so. Yeah, I should have done that earlier, but I was keeping that, most of the enemies have a meaning of those, water-type enemies, so. So the way on the left there takes you to this little cave. It's a small little run around. And if you went the right way to the south of the treasure chest there, you would end up on that platform if there's the north where there's that little, there was the little, staircase. You would end up there. And then you just walk in the water from there, and you deposit over here a little bit, and then you can walk back and get the treasure chest. So, now that treasure chest contained the Phoenix Down, which is really, really good, because this boss that we're about to encounter is an undead monster. And undead monsters, if you hit them with the Phoenix Down, can be defeated instantly, as long as the Phoenix Down connects. There's a chance that the Phoenix Down will miss, but I got lucky here, and the Phoenix Down connects on the first throw. So, that's kind of similar to how stone enemies, you can defeat them instantly by using those gold needles that removes the stone. So, RASAR gained an ability there, throw. It's a good, strong ability. I mean, he's been using it because it's an 8 to the ninja class, but now, if he changes classes later on, he can still use the throw, so. And there's Lenna. She's good with animals. Remember, she's really good with the Windrake, so she's also good with, looks like, the Moogles. So maybe she should be going to animal rescue. She might be a good rabbit and small animal rescue employee. Yeah, they do a lot of good work saving animals and working with animals. And we'll see that in a little commercial coming up in a little bit, so. But speaking of seeing things, this Moogle's gonna show us something, so pay very close attention, minions, to what's coming up right here. So, he steps into the desert, he shakes his head, he's like, no, don't do that, don't do that. He's gonna run around, he's gonna show us a path, so you have to memorize this path on where you need to go. But thankfully, it's not too hard to memorize. But if you follow this path, you'll end up back in the Moogle's hometown, in the forest there. If you step in the desert, though, you can run into some really strong enemies, so don't want to do that. But, oh, look, here's to learn about some animals. Look, neglected, abused, unwanted, abandoned, but turned into loved, sheltered, happy, and content. Yeah, see? Rabbit and small animals do a lot of good work. But that good work is only possible through the generous support of people. So if you're entertained by this, consider making a small donation to the charity. But back to the game here. We're just going to stay in the forest, avoid stepping into the desert, follow the path that Mr. Moogle showed us. And that's going to take us into the Moogle forest over here. So just got to walk around a little bit, try to find where the Moogle village is. Well, there we go. We're into it. So here we are, the Moogle village. But they're all scared of us. That guy, he's running around like crazy. Now all these trees are all their houses. They're all locked right now, so we can't get into any. But we'll get into them later. We want to explore them a little later. So. But it's kind of similar to, remember when we saw King Tycoon in that one village? He was running around and we had to find him as we stepped to different places. It's kind of similar to this here. The Moogle's going to run around, and we just have to run around and try to find him. And he's up here in the upper right corner, so other Moogles are running around being crazy. But we just find this Moogle, and when he runs away, then he stops and realizes, hey, wait, you're the ones who saved me from that Tyrannosaurus skeleton. Sadly, we can't understand the Moogles because all they say is Kupo Kupo. But Lenna can deduce that he's saying thanks, so he gestures for us to come inside this house. Now, if we only had somebody who can speak Moogle, spoiler, we'll find somebody who can speak Moogle. But as a nice gesture, he's going to give us all this treasure, but this is not the only treasure in the Moogle village, so Dancing Dagger is a good dagger. It could sometimes use an ability called Sword Dance. And it basically does, I believe, quadruple damage. So, it'd be pretty good. Give that to Lenna there. I thought about giving it to RASAR there, but he's staying in the back row with his boomerang. So, but yeah, all the Moogles, all they say is Kupo Kupo. So I'm trying to talk to the one up there, upper right, who keeps running away. I can't touch him. There he is. But he says Kupo too. But he's the only one I didn't manage to talk to. But we want to head into this one first. But we don't want to talk to that Moogle just yet. Well, you kind of do, but I just want to head over here to show you what happens. So there's a treasure chest here, but it's locked. And look at that. That Moogle doesn't say anything, but look at the shape of that tree. I'll point it out again when we go back in there, but we go in here and it's not a Moogle. It's a Moogle costume! And you want to put the Moogle costume on, so. Because once you put the Moogle costume on, you can head back to that tree house that I was just in. And a little funny scene happens here. We talk to the Moogle. And he's in love with us. Aww, he thinks we're cute. And he opens up the treasure chest. And yeah, if you look at the shape of the house, it kind of looks like a heart. The chest makes a little crease in the top of the heart. So, and we get our third elf cape. So, finally we have a relic we can throw on Galuf there. So, it's not necessarily going to be really good on him because half the time he might be jumping. But when he ain't jumping, it'll help him avoid attacks. So once we clean out the Moogle village and get all the treasure chests, we come back here and talk with this guy here. And he's going to use a Moogle ability. Turns out that even though we can't understand Moogles, Moogles can understand each other, and they can also communicate with telepathy. So yeah, I said we're going to meet somebody who can speak Moogle, and it's Krill. She's good with animals too, just like Lenna. But apparently the Moogle from the Moogle village is communicating with this Moogle friend of Krill's, and she's going to be able to now stage a rescue. Because remember, we were blown really far away from this castle where Galuf apparently lives. And so the only way we're going to be able to get him is if we rescue him with the Hiryu. So, but apparently the Hiryu is tired. So, But he's a good Hiryu. He's like, well, a nap would be nice, but I know you have to rescue your grandfather and everybody else, so I'll give up my nap for that. So, woohoo! Although the Hiryu's willingness to, I guess, go without sleep here or recover from his injuries is gonna lead us into our next quest, but I'll be a little bit later. And now apparently we see from the sky, if we looked at it from the high above, this Moogle forest is actually shaped like a Moogle head. We'll see that in like a second. He'll come up. We're told to look for the nose. That's where the Moogle village is. So it's like a Moogle face there. And now the Winddrake's gonna land in the nose where the Moogle village is. And we'll get to pick up all our party members and take them back to Galuf's castle. I wonder how many people can fit on the Winddrake. Well, obviously the 6 can, because all 4 party members, Krill and the little Moogle, are going to be on it. So, in the next game, actually, Final Fantasy 6, we'll actually get a Moogle. You can actually get a Moogle as one of your party members. So, he is optional though. You have to do like a little side quest to get him in the first part of the game, and then in the second part of the game, he's not a mandatory character, so you're not obligated to pick him up, but he's a pretty neat character, so. Now the Winddrake is gonna fly us home. The Winddrake in this world is very similar to the Winddrake in the other world as well, so it has the limitations that it can't fly over large mountains, and it can only land on the grass, so. Thank you for the ride, Hiryu. Alright, taking him back to his roost. Alrighty. Yay! Now we have this whole big castle to explore. And we definitely want to explore the castle because there's some good treasures in it, and we get a lot of more plot and information. King Galuf? He's a king? Yep, Galuf is the king. That's why he was able to lead that army. Wow, everybody's royalty, you know, except for RASAR. But in the real world here, Rabbit and Small Island Rescuers, they're like royalty because they do great work. So, but here we get a status report that the Exdeath monsters are running around and basically picking off Galuf soldiers, you know, in little skirmishes here and there. So, and unfortunately, we can't make an assault on Exdeath's castle to potentially, you know, get rid of him and, you know, take out the head of the army, and then the army falls. Can't do that because that barrier is in the way. So, we're gonna have to find some way to eventually take down that barrier. But we have another mission that we're gonna have to undertake first. So, and here we're gonna get some really weird, bad puns from Galuf and RASAR. RASAR's known to say some pretty silly things. You know, he's like gravy and mashed potatoes earlier or something like that. So, so Galuf's like, you're my friends, you don't have to call me King Galuf. So, he's like, just Galuf is fine. And then Master's like, okay, just Galuf. And then he says, you'll be punished. So I saw a play about words. It was called Puns. It's a play on words. So yeah, apparently we can't if we gotta make it so we gotta make it by the air. So let's talk with some people. There's the Moogle there. Even though Krill can talk with that Moogle, it still just says Kupo Kupo. So yeah, Lady Krill has a special talent to speak with Moogles, so she's a true Disney princess. She's really good with the animals, so let's go sleep in the bed. No, we can't sleep in the bed. So we're gonna head up here. We're gonna head to the roost where the Windrake is recovering from his flight. Now I mentioned about the Windrake was tired and needed to sleep. Well, it turns out the Windrake is wounded, and I said that would lead into our next quest. So Krill's gonna update us on the status of the Windrake here. It basically says that the Windrake has hurt. Maybe he was hurt in that assault. Remember when the barrier came up, and he can't recover. And that's when Lenna's like, because she knew a lot about Windrakes, because remember her father had one. And so Lenna's like, well, if we got dragon grass, remember the grass on the North Mountain? Lenna said that whenever they hear you was wounded, it goes back to where there's dragon grass, because dragon grass will heal it. So now we have to go find some dragon grass to give to this Windrake so we can heal it. And Gal says, well, the only place where there might be dragon grass is there's this valley up north, past the werewolf village. But no one's ever gone into there and come out alive, because it's very, very dangerous. But RASAR, you know, the ever optimist, is just like, hey, we can do it. So, yep, that'll be our next little quest adventure. We're going to have to go north out of here to the Drakenville village to try to find some grass to heal up to Hiryu, because he's going to be very, very important for exploring this world, so we can't let him down, so. So, we know where we gotta go, but before we do that, let's finish exploring Galuf's castle. There's a lot to do in this castle. So, not just in terms of loan and plot, but there's a few treasures we want to get as well, so. And yeah, if we don't defeat Exdeath, he'll destroy the world. And yeah, that's why we need the Hiryu, because without the Hiryu, we can never make an assault on Exdeath's castle. So let's come up here, see if there's any dialogue change with these folks now, but nope. Nothing, still gonna say the same thing. So, but just wanted to make sure. So, I like to be thorough when I'm playing my games, minions. That's why I'm getting the 100% treasure. So, and, so apparently there was an accident when King Galuf came to this thing. That's why he lost his memory, and now that's why he didn't have any weapons with him, or armor, because they got destroyed in the accident. And secret passageway there, we get the exit spell. I believe that's a time magic spell that lets you warp out of a dungeon, so completely. Usually it's a white magic spell. I think in this game it's time magic, so I have to check that out, but. So yeah, even they don't even know all the secrets apparently of this castle. So, and that'll play into later on in the game. So, but not for now. So we'll just continue with exploring the castle. And what do we got going on here? There's the inn. Sadly, we don't get free inn work here, but we want to get some holy waters. It's never been much of an issue until now, but you know that really tough enemy, the shield dragon, in the Kuzo castle where the sealed weapons were? One of the spells that he has is a spell that can turn your characters into a zombie, and the only way to remove the zombie status from your character is with that the holy water. So, and yep, exit is a time magic spell in this game. So, just check that out real quick to make sure. So, let's head on out and do some more exploration of this castle. So, guards just standing there. This guy's really busy. He's getting his laps in. Uh-oh. Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, that Exdeath's been taking the soldiers off in little skirmishes outside with his monsters. We don't want to talk to those guards there because that'll initiate the next quest we got coming up. And then we won't be able to get back into this castle for a little bit, but there's a little button there. Keep that button in mind in what we're doing here right now, because it'll be our way back into the castle, but much like the barren waterway in Final Fantasy IV, there is a secret passageway in the moat that goes to the lower left corner of the castle. But right now, we want to head to the upper right portion of the castle because we have a treasure hidden up here in the moat. Sadly, we won't be able to use this treasure because it's a sword that's used by knights, the great sword. So, but for us, it's just a bad sword because nobody can use it. So, yeah. But like I said, it's a good sword if you have knights, but once again, we're not allowed to use the knights in this playthrough, so that's a really easy treasure to miss, because who would think to go up there and look? But now we just head back this way, and that button I pointed out a little earlier, we have to press that button, and then that'll open up, I guess, like a grate here, and it'll suck us back down into the castle, so push the button, and woof! It's like a water slide. Whee! And we pop back into this little spring water here, so now we can head up into this area here. Yep, mention that barrier again. And here we have weapons and armor, but most of the stuff we already have. We don't need to buy anything really, so we can sell that great sword because we don't need it. So, but yeah, most of the stuff we already got in Regole, so we can get some gauntlets there, but that would mean giving up the elf cape for Galuf, and the elf cape is a little better, so I'm gonna keep that. Same weapons here that we could have gotten in Regole, and same magics as well. So we got the some time magic, black magic, and then white magic on the left. But we're not done with the weapon shop yet. See, there's a treasure chest behind there. We can actually get 2 treasures from the weapon shop. So there's a hidden staircase down here behind the spire of that castle, and we can pick up this angel suit. That's only for chemists. So yeah, we're gonna sell that. So that guy just tells us that special properties is just raw defense that's taken into account when you optimize your equipment. So yeah, see, angel only used by the chemist. So once again, class we can't use. So we want to touch the wall where that button is, and we want to step between these 2 merchants. And then we're going to play merchant. We're going to be like, pretend that we're a merchant. And these 2 merchants are going to get really angry at us. And they're like, you're bothering us. I don't know how we're bothering them when there's like no customers there. But this guy's going to feel bad because, he kind of like, I guess, squashed our dream of being a salesman. And he gives us a Lamia's harp. A good item for a bard if you're using a bard, but we don't have any classes that can use harps, so nope, we're just gonna be stuck selling that harp along with the angel gear. So yeah, as you can see, when you're restricted to your classes, a lot of stuff gets unused, and a lot of good equipment that you get can't be used. So that's one of the joys of the Fiesta. It forces you to shift strategies around. So maybe play with jobs that you may not use a lot often. So now, before we end up and start doing our last little side quest, there's one more little area to explore here in the castle. So, and this is a good area if you have a thief, or if you want to build up job levels. So, but down here in the basement, there's a door that won't open. We'll learn how to open that door much later in the game. But that's one of the secrets. They said that the secret in Castle Battle that nobody can understand. So if you try to open that door up there, you can't open it. But if you walk around in here, there's an enemy that you can meet. And these enemies ain't too hard. statue enemies. And they give really lousy experience, only 100 experience. So we're going to basically get like 125 experience for taking all these enemies. They're weak against lightning, so you can throw scrolls at them. But the main thing, the easiest way to defeat them is to throw gold needles at them. Because look, they're stone enemies. Remember, gold needles will instantly defeat stone enemies. So you just have every one of your characters throw gold needles on them, and it's an easy victory. Now, while they give lousy experience, they give really good ability points. When we finish this battle off, we'll get 8 ability points. So this is a good place to farm if you want to build abilities. I also say it's a good place if you have a thief. The rare item that you can steal from these guys is the Twin Lance, which is like a dual-bladed knife. Has like blades on both edge. So whenever you attack with that, you attack twice. So like for a ninja, if they had 2 twin lances equipped, they'd attack 4 times. So it's a good steal for your thief. You can just get a whole bunch of them if you have a thief. So, but we don't have a thief, so. But that's where we're gonna end up. Pick up here next time. So once again, we'll close with just the mission statement from Rabbit and Small Animal Rescues. Now they transform neglected, abused, unwanted, and unloved into the loved, sheltered, happy, and content. If you want to support their rescue, a PayPal link is in the description. Thank you, take care, have a good day, bye!